I am the big tank.
On the battlefield of life, nothing's harder than a tank. Yeah, have you ever met a man, hearts full of love, bigger than a tank?
Big tank.
He served in a few wars, he's a veteran that stands for a cause. For the best interviews and news, just keep it glued to the tank.
I am the tank, big
BigTank Talk.
Tank.
BigTank Talk.
My friends, welcome to another episode of BigTank Talk. Today's regular scheduled guest, Handy Mandy, is not available. She is being rescheduled. Filling in and allowing us to interview him totally off the cuff is Fear the Reaper 75, also known as Paul to his friends. Paul, welcome to BigTank Talk.
Thank you, Tank. It's an honour.
Now, brother, you normally screen record these for me, so I know you're quite familiar with our format. My friends, this is going to be a interactive interview, so I do encourage all of you that were hearing my voice, if you have questions, type them in. Hopefully, Alberta has she can pin those so that Paul can concentrate on being the guest today. So, Paul, just like I ask everybody when I start the interview, tell me a little bit about yourself and how you came to be on Clapper.
Well, I was started in COVID. During COVID, I found TikTok. Like I think a lot of people did. I didn't even know it had existed till my son said, "Download TikTok. It's something new," and I got involved with a group of people over there, made videos, all that kind of stuff, and then met Val. As you know, we all know who Val is. Met Val, and when she moved over here, we moved over here. I moved over to here about 3 weeks later, and haven't looked back since.
Right. Danny, if you could pin the questions, that would be great. Then Alberta Girl doesn't have to worry about that. She can just focus on screen recording. Now, how long were you on TikTok before you moved over?
About 3 years.
Because like a lot of us here, I started on TikTok and probably had 3 years on TikTok before I came over here in 2020. So I've been on this kind of social media for a while, but once I really came out to being a Clapper creator, it's come my go back to TikTok. So thank you for the gift, Alberta Girl. Welcome in, Ted. Good to see you, brother. And Ted, today our guest, impromptu guest, is Paul. So if you have questions you would like to hear Paul answer, feel free to type it in. Danny will pin them and we'll make sure he gets it answered. So obviously, people that can't tell by your voice, you are not American. You're in the UK, correct?
I'm from the United Kingdom, yes.
Now, is it? I mean, being a UK citizen, do you really get any kind of a sense of the history of your country, or is it just something you take for granted? A lot of, like in the United States, although our history doesn't go back nearly as far, most people take a lot of it for granted.
Yeah, I mean, I've visited historical places. I've visited museums. I know about the wars and stuff like that. I'm not a history buff, but I know things. If people need to ask a question about a certain thing, I could possibly answer it. Hey, Jess.
Welcome in, Jess. It's good to see you. Let's say I came to see you, and I've never been, although I've lived in Europe for a couple of years, been a lot of places. I've never been to the UK. If I came to visit, what would be something you would definitely want me to see while I was there?
Oh, See, there's about 4 or 5 different history museums in Birmingham City Centre, which is about 5, 6 miles from me, and they're all free to enter. You can walk around them. They've got tombs from Egypt. They've got a dinosaur, what's it called, exhibition. They've got actual fossils that they dug up in Birmingham before anything was built and stuff. So it's all natural, local history.
Right.
And
I mean,
art galleries up there as well.
are there a lot of castles around the UK?
To be honest, there is a castle not far from here, and it does have a lot of local history to Dudley, which is about 4 miles that direction. In fact, there's a couple. There's one in the local zoo, which has got the history written like on plaques around the castle itself, which is very interesting.
Have you ever been to the United States?
No, but I will be there October.
Besides meeting several of your Clapper friends that live here in the States, what is something you really look forward to once you get into the United States?
Just to experience what it's about. Because like I said, I've only ever been abroad once in my life. I'm nearly 50. So going out to a different country altogether, finding out exactly what it's like in America, because obviously on the news you hear all the bad things that are going on. You know what I mean? I want to experience it for myself and see what the culture's like out there.
Yeah, and you really can't. Hey, Val, you really can't judge any place based on what you hear in the news, because the news they don't make a habit of telling you what's good about the country they're reporting on, because that doesn't get ratings. Negative, inflammatory, that's the kind of stuff that gets ratings. Hey, Val, Paul is our special guest today because Handy Mandy is unavailable. So if you have any questions you want Paul to answer, I'm not saying you need to ask him questions, but I want to get that brain working of yours just to see what you can come up with. So, I know you're a part of the Shocker crew. From your perspective, what is the Shocker crew actually about?
Right. It started as a joke, in all fairness, over on TikTok with Val. Val did not know what this sign meant. Okay? And it took at least 6 of us for it to grasp exactly what that meant. And it come down to me saying Neapolitan ice cream for it to click in her head exactly what we was talking about.
That's funny.
So basically we started over there and we call the Shocker Crew, but it was just a group of friends that hung out all the time, like we do over here. Have a good laugh and a joke. Yes, we are very dark human, but that's who we are. We are mainly Gen Xers that basically have got the darkest humor you can even imagine.
Headed up, of course, by a baby boomer known as Gangster Granny.
Yeah, exactly.
2 questions pending. Herpes wants to know, do English muffins really taste English?
Depends on which side you eat, Herpes.
And Jeff wants to know, what do you want to try out here that you don't have in the UK? That's a really good question, Jess.
Oh, okay. So I've heard Steve and a couple of others speak about a root beer float. Never tried one. I want to try one.
You know what? That's a really interesting thing, because it's a pretty common thing here in the States, a root beer float. And there are some people, the idea of putting a soda and ice cream together sounds disgusting, but it's really not. It's really really pretty good. Ted wants to know if you have any expectations or wants for when you get here to the United States.
To be honest, I don't think I have. I think it's going to be very overwhelming because I've never actually been to a country as big as America. Like I said, I've never been abroad once, and that was Gran Canaria. Never been outside the country other than that.
Now, something I would recommend, and it's a lot easier to do now because we have cell phones, so you have everything with you. But when you get here, take a lot of pictures and videos and stuff, especially of the things that once you see it, if it's really impressive to you, make a record of it. So I'm almost 62. I have more than 10,000 pictures that I've taken, some that were before the age of digital cameras, but you can digitize everything. And the older I get, the more I appreciate that I have those. So I would suggest that very highly.
Yeah.
Now, Bugs wants to know who's your real life idol and your musical idol.
My real idol has to be my father. He is my idol, even though he's no longer here. But my father taught me a lot. Took me through a lot of my life. Obviously, my first child, getting married, all that type of stuff. He was always there for me. And yeah, he'll always be my idol to the day I end up being where he is. And my musical idol,
Really idol.
yeah, I've sorry herpes. I'm not acknowledging it. I'm sorry, brother. It's either Freddie Mercury or Bill Haley. Bill Haley. The main reason I said Bill Haley is because my dad introduced me to rock and roll through letting me listen to introduce me to Bill Haley and the comics.
I would suggest my answer to that is an absolutely American answer. If I had to pick a musical idol, mine is probably and always will be Elvis Presley.
Yeah.
So Val says, who gives you the most inspiration on Clapper? And that's a really good question too.
See, a lot of people do, but mainly it's my friends who say something, give me an idea for a video without them even knowing. And obviously, I am quite of a comedian, so as soon as I get a grip of something that I know that's going to be funny, it's like the Mariah Carey video that I done at Christmas. Nobody knew how I was going to do it, and I had to time everything perfectly so it all fit in with the slamming of the door and the turning round of a person away from the door. It's all about timing. So that type of stuff it's not easy to do. But like I said, it's mainly my friends, or if I see a video on here that I think, oh, that could be a good idea. I have brought some ideas from TikTok over to here, but only the ideas, not the videos itself.
Right.
So
that's actually a really good answer too, because it would be a tough one for me to say. I'm inspired by a lot of people, so yeah, that's a good answer. Jess asked, any place you really want to go to and when you get here? I think Jess asked that. Maybe Ted, I don't know. I got you, Ted.
I find New York very interesting.
What about New York interests you?
Oh no, that's the thing. I don't know what it is. It just seems a really cool place to be. I don't know why. It just makes me. Every time I see a video on it, and the big
That is amazing. Something else that amazes me about New York is they have so many people there.
Yeah.
Over 8 million. That's a lot of people in one place. Who do you, Bugs, I believe, asked, who do you most look forward to meeting when you get to the United States?
Again, it's my friends off here. Bugs I've known for a long time. Steve I've known for a long time. I mean, I missed out on Bugs when she come to Scotland. I would have met her if I'd have known she was when she was coming. But I missed it due to work. But like Bugs and Steve are definitely right up there with who I want. Obviously, I'm definitely going to be meeting yourself and you know Tabby and your daughter and stuff. But Bugs and Steve I've known for the longest. I'm looking forward to meeting everybody because you're all my friends, and you know, meeting you in real life is just going to be amazing.
All right, I like this question from Ted. What pisses you off?
I saw it in the pin. I was like, oh shit. What pisses me off the most in the entire world is people that lie or people that thieve. That's the most thing that pisses me off in the world. Lying to my face or trying to get away with a lie. He just don't wash with me at all.
I've got to agree with you on that, Paul. Dishonesty for me is without a doubt the thing that pisses me off the most, and that's whether you're telling an outright lie, lying by omission, or trying to cheat somebody out of something that they have a right to that you don't. It's all just comes under the heading of dishonesty, and there is nothing I can think of that I hate more than dishonest people.
No.
It's a really, really big pet peeve of mine. So Johnny wants to know, do you really enjoy dressing in drag for your I Want to Break Free video?
You know what, Johnny? It doesn't bother me at all. It does not bother me whatsoever. I've dressed up in. I've been on live in a dress and a wig, singing karaoke of all things. You know what I mean? So being dressed in drag does not bother me whatsoever. So I mean, I even bought the tutu just for that fucking reason. Just for that reason, the Want to Break Free video, I went and bought a tutu and a wig just to do the forfeit.
All right, I got a question. Now I'm there often. So what gives you the confidence to sing karaoke? I sing, but I still don't have the confidence to sing karaoke. But you do. It's one of the things I respect most about you. I'm just wondering where do you find the confidence to do that?
To be honest, I've never been a nervous person. I've always been pretty confident. I actually I only had ever done karaoke once in a pub in all the years I've been alive. I've only sung it on a karaoke once in a pub. You come onto here and it's just a regular thing now.
I have to tell you, that's one of the things I respect most about you and Val and Ted and Bugs. You guys that get up there and you do your karaoke thing, which I should be willing to do, and I have the spirit to do it, but I don't have the confidence to do it. I do believe at some point I'll get there, but at my own pace. So, and that's one of the other things I like is that, like Val is one of the ones she encourages me to just belt out when I sing, and I do that to the best of my ability, but she doesn't push too hard to do karaoke because she knows if she pushes too hard, it'll just push me out of it. If you had one day to relive, what day would it be and why? And I believe Bug thinks that.
Yeah. The one day I'd relive and why it would be the first time my dad took me fishing. That would be the one day I'd want to relive, and the reason why, because like I said, he's my idol, and him teaching me how to fish was something that I've done all my life. He taught me how to fish, and I've not stopped fishing yet. So
Yeah, I can understand. That's something, no matter how old you get, every time you go fishing, a part of you is going to think back to, this is a great day I had with my dad. And when your dad is your idol, how could that not be something you want to relive over and over again? I really respect that.
well, he also taught Blake and Morgan to fish as well. I was there, but they both sat by him when they first started fishing. So he's not only taught me, he's taught my kids as well.
That's amazing. CK, welcome in and welcome to Clapper. This is a show in which I am interviewing Fear the Reaper, which is Paul sitting here in the box with me. Being new, if you have questions about Clapper specifically, this is a really good live to do that, because both Paul and I are well established here, and we can help you pretty much with anything. And if we don't know the answer to a question, we know somebody that does. So if you have questions, Clapper specific, please ask them here. What makes you happy, Paul?
Being a dad, being a father to my kids, and watching them grow. Because like, I mean, when Val first met me, Blake was 11. No, he weren't. He was 8 or 9. He's now nearly 17.
All grown up?
And he's growing up into a man. Just hitting 9. There you go. So watching them grow and be who they are. Because like I said, my one son's give me 2 grandkids. My oldest lad give me a grandson. My first grandson, unfortunately, his son passed away. But then my other son gave me 2 beautiful grandsons too. I'm hoping that I don't get none of him just yet.
Oh, is Blake the baby then?
Blake's the baby, yeah. Blake's the youngest one.
He's a big baby though.
He's a big baby, I agree.
And I actually I can respect that. That's the best thing I've ever done, was be a father. So I definitely get that. If you won the lottery, what would be your plan for your winnings?
Oh God, I did see it come through off bugs. My plan for my winnings would be to make sure that all my kids were set up for the rest of their lives, and then possibly move out. If I got no toys here, I'd move out to America. And a commune.
I like that.
Hey, Karen.
Welcome in, Karen. Welcome in, Vanilla Gorilla. Good to see you guys. Today we are interviewing Paul, because a regular schedule interview guest, Handy Mandy, was unavailable. And Paul was gracious enough to step in, and Alberta Girl was gracious enough to screen record so Paul could step in. So that was, I appreciate both of you very much for that. What is your favorite adult beverage?
Guinness. Basically, I've always liked to have a little drink here and there. I was a bit stupid when I was younger, and it come to the point where 2.5, 3 years ago, I got diagnosed with a heart condition, which basically that turned around and says no more drinking. Well, you can drink in what's the
Moderation.
word?
Moderation.
Well, I'm not allowed anything with too many gases and chemicals in, so I'm not allowed to drink lager, cider, and I can't drink spirits. So the next best thing for me on that front is a stout or a bitter.
Jeff wants to know, what fruit do you want to try when you get out to the United States?
I'm not too sure on that one. Oh, proper mac and cheese.
Okay. Bugs asked, would you rather be where you are today or be able to go back and change things? Good question.
That's a great question, because in my eyes, why go back and change anything you've already achieved? You know what I mean? I'm a dad to 5 kids. Yeah, they've grown up. Obviously, Blake's the only one left at home with me, so they've all grown up. They've all got their own lives. Yeah. If I could go back, see, the only thing I wouldn't want that I've got today is the heart condition, because I will have to finish work early because of surgeries and other complications as I get older. But other than that,
I understand that, Paul. I have congestive heart failure. I've had 2 heart attacks and a stroke, so I get it. I also feel like everything that I've done in my life, everything I've experienced has made me who I am, and I like who I am, so I wouldn't change a thing, just for me personally. If you could go anywhere in the world and the cost wasn't a problem, where would you go?
probably Dubai. Probably Dubai, just to experience, just for the experience out there. Just to actually see a Lamborghini, it's everyday thing over there, seeing a Lamborghini and a Ferrari and all the big supercars, and just
No,
driving
somewhere
down.
else. I know somewhere else you can go and see all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Monte Carlo.
Oh, Monte Carlo, yeah, but I don't know what it is. I've got friends who actually live in Dubai now, and they say the living over there is so different, so
Right.
different.
So Ted wants to know, is Bugs going to be able to breathe when you see her and give her your first hug? Good question.
It is a good question, because I am a big hugger, especially when I've known them for so long and I'm actually finally going to meet them. So get 911 on speed dial, Ted, just in case.
I will tell you, Paul, expect a big hug when you meet me, and I'm bigger than you are.
Oh no, brother. Oh no.
So part of the reason I do these, and Paul, you know this, is that I like to educate people on the way we do things here on Clapper, because we like it when new people come in, but we would like them to come in, recognize that we're a community-based app, and that's the way we do things. So, like we had that new fella, and I don't even know if he stayed, but if he is, what advice would you offer that guy as far as how to be successful on Clapper?
Right. Obviously, this guy, everybody who comes on to Clapper, if they come across a live like this and they don't know the people in the box, say hello. Say hi, how are you, or whatever you want to say to the people in the live, yeah. And then strike up a conversation. Get to know the people that you're in the live with. If you're not a person that likes going into lives, put an introduction video out there and introduce yourself to the Clapper community. That way, you'll find the people that you want to get to, you want to find, and you want to associate, and there's another word I'm looking for, communicate with.
Right. I would even go a step further and say, read the room when you come in. There are a lot of different communities here. There are some rooms, like if you go into a live hosted by Gangsta Granny, there's a good chance there's karaoke going on. But sometimes they get into that, and I'm part of her group, and we do get into some pretty in-depth conversations. When you come in, say hello and read the room. Find out what's going on before you start throwing stuff out there that makes no sense to anybody. Most people you meet, if you come in and you're social and you greet people and you try to find out what the flow of the room is, they're going to accept you and welcome you in. Now, another question is entirely Clapper related, Paul, and I do like to ask this of most of my guests. What do you say to somebody when they say, what do I make a video about?
See, like I said earlier on, I do a lot of comedy stuff because that's my sense of humour. That's the type of stuff I like to put out there. If you're a musician, I'll give you an example of Bluesman or Diamond Lou. They actually do musical videos of Blues does covers of songs. I don't know if he's got any original ones out there. I'm not too sure. I've not asked him. If you're a musician, do a musical video. If you don't feel confident, sit and talk about an instrument that you play.
Right. Ronan is a good example. Ronan is a good example of somebody who puts original music on here. His original music.
I was about to mention Ronan. If you are stuck to make a video, as silly as it sounds, go for a walk and put your camera on. Capture your day on video.
One thing I was told when I was struggling to figure out what I should make for content, and I credit Mando One for answering that for me. Anything is content.
Yeah.
I mean, just a normal part of your day, you want to go out in the backyard and sit and hang out, turn your camera on, just do a scan across your backyard and saying, this is me kicking back. Anything is content. Ted, I like your way you brought that up. What do you say to somebody that comes in and immediately drops in a follow for follow, back to back?
I'll give you the PG version. Normally, I mean, depends on what mood I'm in, but normally I'll say, right, start again and say hello. Or, yeah, I'm in an interview, Blake.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. Yeah. So, say hello, like I said, come into a room, say hi. Before you even say follow for follow. Yes, Val, I was about to come to that one. But now you see, they're not meant to say that, so they'll come in and say back to back. So me and Val the other night turned our backs to the camera.
Can you give me an example?
No, because I've got my phone in my hand. I'm not finished on my stand at the moment.
Fair enough, brother. Trust me though, when he and Val say they do literally show their backside, yes, they do. One other question, specifically Clapper related. How would you suggest people resolve issues with other Clapper creators? Because it does come up quite a bit.
Yeah, it does come up a lot, doesn't it? Now, see, I'm a firm believer of go to the source. If you don't get your answer there, obviously, I mean, I'll be the first one to admit and put my hands up. If you can't speak to them through DMs, if you see them on a live, if it's their live, go and say, "Can we talk?" I've done it in a lot in Val's live. I've asked Val if I can have the room for a minute while I spoke to somebody in the room, and I've addressed them, and they've answered me. And as far as I was concerned, that was the end. That was the end of what I needed to say to them. Sometimes I will make a video and call them out if I don't get the answers I require.
Well, and sometimes people need to be called out, so I have no issue with that. And Ralph, you put in one word what Paul is saying. Communication is key. I did a video about it, and that's something that I still feel is lacking quite a bit on Clapper, and that's why there's so much drama and, excuse the language, bullshit that still goes on here, because people don't communicate, and no relationship, I don't care whether it's romantic, friendship, or professional, no relationship succeeds without good communication.
No.
I mean, it's communication that me interviewing Paul today instead of Handy Mandy because she was not available. I reached out to him beforehand. He knew she wouldn't be here. And until we knew we had Alberta girl willing to screen record, I was just going to open myself up to questions. And when she said she could screen record, interviewing Paul was the natural solution to that. And you're absolutely right. No amount of communication on your part is going to work if the other person refuses to communicate with you. And that, when it happens like that, that block button is a guy's use it. Because if they don't want to communicate with you, help them out and block them. That way they don't have to communicate with you.
Yeah.
And yeah, Ted, you're right. If all else fails, roast them. Have fun. Now, for those of you that know me, I'm not somebody who roasts people, but hey, they're funny videos, Val. But what you're doing when you make those funny videos is you are roasting somebody. Donnie says, "What's your favorite video you've done on Clapper?"
That's a good question, brother. I think it's between the Mariah Carey one, the Christmas one that I did, and oh god, do you know what? Funny enough, I only looked back today on my videos, and I went right the way, because I've got over 250 videos on here. I went right the way to the very beginning. I'll tell you what, it's over the Mariah Carey one that I did, or my Misheard Lyrics series, because they are hilarious.
Alberta girl wants to know, besides your friends on Clapper, who inspires you? I may, Ralph.
Oh yeah, the Tozer one was good. The Tozer one was really, really good. And the cocaine one. Sorry, Tank. Besides friends on here, who inspires me? My son, Blake, does, because he'll get involved with the video with me. You know what I mean? He'll show me a video, and I'll be like, we've got to do that our own way.
So I have to ask, when he's of age, will Blake become a member of Clapper?
I'm hoping so, but you see, the thing is, I kind of messed up and got his IP banned on his phone when I used his phone for an alternative account. So I might have to speak to Clapper about that.
Well, maybe by the time he's of age, he'll have a new phone and it won't matter.
No, he's got this phone for at least another 12, 14 months.
Fair enough.
Unless I buy him a tablet and he does it that way.
That's always a possibility. I know a few creators on here who have their children, including me. My younger daughter, Olivia, joined Clapper to come into one of my karaoke lives so she could promptly be booted out. But that was resolved.
I recall that. I do recall that, brother.
And she's got a good sense of humor, so when I talked to her about it, she laughed. She thought it was funny. Yeah. She made an account, came in and watched me on a karaoke live and got booted. She thought it was funny. Are you talking about words of wisdom, Ted? What words do you have for Clapper? I'd say, what words of wisdom do you have for Clapper? But
any. Personally, they need to improve the app a lot more because the update that they did the other day didn't fix the sound issue for a start off. Didn't fix the cannot see comments issue. And considering how much they went up when TikTok closed down for that 30 something hours, how far up they went up in the charts of social media, they don't deserve to.
Those are, I really wish Clapper would hear these words because I'm sure they've been mentioned before. It's wonderful they want to add so many new features to Clapper, but really it would be much more beneficial to fix what you already have before you start adding more to it. And the best, and any another big couple of words I would tell them: invest in more servers. You want to expand, that's the best way to do it. Have more space to add people without creating more problems.
100%.
So, is Blake coming with you to come to the States, or is it just you?
No, me and Blake are coming out. Yes. What would be a really good forfeit for someone? Thing is, I've come up with that many. I just merge. Depend. What? Hang on. Hey, here's a question for you, Val. What's the punishment for? Agree, Ted. 100% agree.
Like that one too, Ted. It seems on Clapper the OGs become like an afterthought. I think they just assume OGs aren't going anywhere, so we don't need to worry about them.
Yeah. A challenge fail. Oh, God. A challenge fail would have to be a forfeit of epic proportion, so they wouldn't have to do it again. Something like,
Thank you, Ralph. It would have to be something that gets people really, really out of their comfort zone.
yeah. See, obviously, it would depend on the individual. That's what I'm trying to think. Dependent on the individual. Dependent on the challenge they failed. It depends on what they get given. Val knows because we brainstorm. Me, Val, Bugs, Ted. Use you for this. Thing is though, Val, you're
The problem as I see it is I don't really see you not being willing to do whatever it is. You may not like it, but I don't see you like ever being in a situation where you're like, oh hell no, I'm not doing that. If it's properly presented to you, I think you would do anything. Val.
right. I agree, but there's a couple of things that she wouldn't do. But I would not put her in that position. But just for this instance alone, yeah, just for this example, yeah, she does. She normally does. All the people that get involved normally take on the challenge. But just for this example alone, just for the sake of the interview, I would have to say she'd have to face her fear of spiders.
That would be really mean, Paul. Sorry. I hate spiders.
What I'm saying is just for the example here, because I couldn't think of anything straight away. You know what I mean? Just for an example. Not saying I'd never do it. I'd never ever do that to Val. Because I know how much she's proud of them.
Yes, Jess, I agree. It's just a spider. But when I was a toddler, I stepped into a nest of black widow spiders and was bit by several, and almost lost my leg because of it. So, to you, they're just a spider. To me, they're a fuck no.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
but
Karen
no-
wants to know, do you agree that Clapper changed the blue check to have 10K on videos and not 5K?
I didn't know they'd done that. I didn't know they'd done that, Karen. Because when I applied, it was at 5K. That was a couple of months ago.
30,000 is the number of followers you need to have, Ralph, to be able to apply for a blue check. And Karen, if they've changed it from 5K to 10K, it's news to me. The app still says you need 5,000 views average over 30 days for at least 10 videos posted.
Yeah. So I didn't know. I didn't know that changed. If I have, I don't know.
It is still going through a third party to get approved, and I think they've eased up on how difficult it is because recently several people have been blue check verified. Some that I feel like are deserving, and some that just make me scratch my head and wonder why. But that's neither here nor there.
At the moment, my views are in the toilet, so there's no point me trying to reapply again. Just saying.
Florida girl, all I'll say to your comment of "I'll never be" is never say never, because you don't know. I was pretty convinced they weren't going to blue check verify me for some reason, and out of the blue they did. So never say never. And they do that sometimes, Bugs. And the story that people get told is, well, they were blue checked somewhere else, and so there's a benefit to be blue checked here. I personally don't agree with it, but I'm not the one making the rules here.
I don't agree with it at all. Just because you blue check on another app don't mean you automatically get it on this app. Sorry, you've got to earn it.
Understand something. Being blue check verified doesn't really mean a lot. I mean, the one benefit I've seen to it is you do get better views on your videos because blue check creators get pushed to the FYP more, so your views are better. But other than that, blue check creators are not better than anyone else, and in some cases they're not nearly as good as other people. So remember that. Anybody ever gives you the impression they feel like they're better than you because they got a blue check, no, they're worthless pieces of shit, and consider them as such and nothing more.
Fun fact: a blue check creator commented back to me on here a few months back, stating he was better than me. He got blocked.
Good way to handle that. I've met a lot of people on here. I haven't met anyone yet I would say is better than you are. So there's that. So if I could at this point, Paul, before we continue, I want to mention again the reason that we're not interviewing Handy Mandy today is that she discovered earlier today she wouldn't be available. She reached out to me. We're rescheduling her. Next week we are interviewing Sean Hentz. And if any of you that know Sean, you guys know that his family's tea company is being, for want of a better word, being attacked from the FDA because of one of the ingredients they use, ashwagandha, I think. Sean is a good friend. He and his family swear by the results, and so do the customers. That's the important part. So do the customers. So I am behind Sean 100% on this, and however I can back him, I will. And I really look forward to having him on and interviewing him next week. And I'm quite sure I'll bring that up in the interview as well, because I want him to get the story of the fight they're going through out. Couple more. We got about 10 more minutes, so I want to get back into the clapper side of things a little bit. What is your take on clapbacks?
See, obviously, over when I was on TikTok, he didn't have like something like that, so it was definitely unique to this app. I think they've made it a little bit more difficult to access by putting in the arrow on a video rather than putting it in the corner at the bottom of the video now. They need to fix that's got a major glitch as well. Especially, well, I don't know about many other users, but for me, if I click on a video and go to clap it back, I cannot hear the original video while I'm doing my video back to it.
And that's still an issue for most people, Paul. I've done clapbacks, but I usually watch the video several times first so I know what they're saying, and I look at how long the video is, and then I just time my response accordingly. So, but yes, that's something there are some people who still can't do a clapback on here. The clapback feature does not work for them. For most people, like what you just described, they can do the clapback, but when they're recording the clapback, you don't hear what's being said in the original video, which would be very helpful if you could. It helps for the timing of your portion of that. It's something else Clapper needs to fix. That's what I'll say about that. Ralph, I appreciate that. What would you suggest to people when they come in and they come into a live like this and they're new and they bring up right away, well, all I see is nudity. All I see is people shaking their ass for wanting coins. What do you tell them?
Well, I would explain to them how to turn that off, because I know how to do it. So if I know how to do it and can help somebody else sort that out, I will tell them how to go and do it. There are videos on here from other creators that have shown where to go to do this, to turn off the NSFW side of this app.
Right. Also, I would mention, although it takes more time, say you're going to be exposed to a bit more of it before it figures it out, but you can train the algorithm to show you the stuff that interests you and not the stuff you don't want to see. But you have to be willing to and understand you're still going to see some of the stuff you don't want to see until the algorithm figures it out and starts showing you the things you do want to see. I personally have never turned NSFW to only be safe for work. I've always had it set to NSFW because if you turn it off, yes, you get rid of the nudity. You also get rid of gunplay, people handling guns, which I personally like that. The people that like to fire one up, during a live or in videos, I have no issue with that, so I don't have a reason to want to block that out. If you turn off NSFW, you lose that too. So you lose a lot of other stuff besides nudity. That's why I encourage people, if you have the patience to do it, train the algorithm to show you what you want to see. I'll tell you this, I can't tell you the last time I saw anything inappropriate with nudity or anything like that, and I don't go looking for it. So, trust me when I tell you that does work. You just have to be willing to take the time to do it. There's a third way. Another way of doing that. If you see a video like that you don't like, on that video, and you'll get a pop-up box. The best thing to click is not interested. And every time you see that, bring that box up and click not interested. You're teaching the algorithm, I don't want to see this. That will help, and that will get them to teach them not to show you that shit anymore.
I've done that with the gambling lives. Click not interested on about, I think it was about half a dozen to 10, between 6 and 10. Never saw them again on my FYP.
Yeah, the bingo and all. Yeah, I don't like any of that stuff. I don't see it anymore either.
No.
We got about 5 more minutes, Paul. One more question. Best way to build their app, build their account on here.
Best way to build your account is, well, the way, to be honest, I mean, I'm surprised I've got the followers that I have, even though most of them probably bots, but it is what it is. But make an instruction video, get it out there, let people know who you are, what you're into, what you want to achieve, if you want to achieve anything on here. I know none of this is monetized, so you don't get paid for views and stuff like that. Just be yourself. Communicate on video. Well, no, sorry, not communicate.
Okay.
Engage on videos. Engage in lives. Engage on your own videos and answer all your comments that people put in your video, and that will gain you followers. Engage on the FYP videos as well. Oh, Karen, I didn't mean you. I've been in your live when you've done that. You know, I'm not just saying. I'm saying the bingo people just and that type of thing. You know what I mean? I still see you when you do actually go live. So you're not on my other list. But mainly engage. It's all about engagement. Liking people's videos, commenting on people's videos, doing a clapback. Get yourself seen. Get yourself out there on this app and get yourself seen.
And if I could add anything, because that's a good answer, Paul. Only other thing I'd add to that: be original. And being original is not hard.
No, it's not.
It's not unusual to go into some people. I have seen videos on here where somebody took a video of their foot. It's not exciting, but it's original. You know, if you keep your content based on what you like, what interests you, and don't just steal a video off of here. And if you want to use somebody else's video or like a clip or a scene from a movie, add something to it and make it original. Make it yours. That's the only way. That's the only time it's okay to use other content. And if you, like, say, if I want to make a video that uses something from Paul or from Gangster Granny or from Ted Stamina Man, you add something, make it yours, but also give credit to the original post, to the person that posted the original content. Acknowledge that it's their work, not yours, and you're just adding something to it. That makes it original, and it makes it okay to use. That's the idea of the clapback in the first place, because when you do a clapback, the very fact it's a clapback acknowledges the original post.
Exactly.
So, one last thing, Paul, and then we'll wrap it up. I've not done this in an interview before, but so you're going to be the first person to get the opportunity. I'd like to give you a chance to do a shout out. Somebody's for person, a group, whatever you wanted to be shout out about. But this is your.
Ooh. You know what? I'm gonna shout out our Tuesday nights Twisted Karaoke. If you like singing and you don't mind a challenge, find and follow Gangster Granny on every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. UK time. Is it 3 p.m. Eastern?
Yeah, 2 o'clock Central.
2 p.m. Central. Come along and have a go at our Twisted Karaoke. It is a hell of a lot of fun. You don't have to be. Look, none of us are expert singers. You know what I mean? If you sound like a cat in a tin box, you sound like a cat in a tin box. Just come along and have fun. Michael, I'll get you all there singing one of these days, brother. Trust me.
and I've been to a lot of those. I still don't get in the box and sing yet, but it's a lot of even if you just come and watch, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. You say
Really
you don't have to
fabulous.
join. Come and check it out. See what it's all about.
Well, that was I couldn't have thought of a better thing to do a shout out for. I appreciate that, brother. And this guys, it's been an hour. Paul, I want to tell you, I really appreciate you filling in for Handy Mandy today, because I was going to just take questions on me, which I'd still do that if need be, but the saying, the show must go on. But again, thank you so much for filling in for Handy Mandy.
My pleasure, brother. Appreciate it.
Alberta
Thank you.
girl, Alberta girl, thank you for screen recording today so that Paul could be my guest today. I really appreciate you as well. And for everyone that was here and asked questions, Val and Ted and Karen, Ralph and Jess and everybody, I appreciate all of you. Bugs, thank you so much. You had some really good questions today, and I appreciate everyone for being here. Don't forget, next week I'm interviewing Sean Hentz. I'm really looking forward to that. And Handy Mandy will be rescheduled. So those of you that wanted to see her interview today, that's still going to happen, but it may be the next available time is April 13th. She's checking to see if she's got that day free. If she does, it'll be that day. If not, we'll get her in when we can. Thanks, guys. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. Paul, much love, brother.
Thank you, brother. Much love. Have a great day, everyone.